Hey, good morning, guys. I just wanted to do a quick overview for today and tomorrow. We're just going to kind of review what an autotroph is, a heterotroph, get into what a cell is, and know the difference between a unicellular and a multicellular organism. So, let's go. All right, first, autotrophs. They are known as the producers. There are two different types of autotrophs. There are the photoautotrophs. They use the sun to make its energy. They photosynthesize. That's what gives us our oxygen. Couple examples. All right, really cool. They can be unicellular or multicellular. Next is the chemoautotrophs. They use chemicals such as methane from like the bottom of an ocean in order to create their sugars, their glucose. All right, chemosynthesis does not give us oxygen, but here are a couple examples of what they would look like. Such as bacteria, this would be a hydrothermal vent, and all the orange would be like the life that's around it that requires that vent to produce the gases that it needs to live. Next, we're going to get into heterotrophs. Again, two different kinds of heterotrophs. While both are considered a type of consumer, we have your standard consumers, which are your herbivores, your carnivores, and your omnivores. Next, we have our decomposers, where you have your detritivores, which feed off the dead, like if there is something that's been hit by a car, the organisms that would feed off and decompose that dead animal would be a detritivore. Then you would have
Good morning, faculty and
your
staff. We have our
saprophytes,
first training in the teacher's workroom
and this
for
would
the
be like your
copier.
fungus
If
and
you can make
things
your
like
way
that,
down to the
and these
workroom.
fungus would
Faculty
actually
and
absorb
staff,
the
we have our first
nutrients.
training in
Alright, so
5
next,
minutes
what is a
in the
cell?
workroom. Thank you.
A cell would be the smallest structural and functional unit of an organism. So basically, it's the basic building block of all living organisms. All right, they're typically microscopic, and they're consisting of cytoplasm and a nucleus. Now, not all of them actually have a defined nucleus, but we'll get into that when we talk about the difference between a unicellular and multicellular organism, and we get into the different types like prokaryote, eukaryote, archaea, bacteria, things like that. All right. They have an enclosed membrane. Microscopic organisms typically consist of a single cell, which is either eukaryotic or prokaryotic. So here we have an animal cell, and here we have a plant cell. And we'll talk about the differences, like how this is just a membrane. This has a membrane and a cell wall to give it structure. All right, so a unicellular organism. So this is an organism with only one cell. All right. Unicellular organisms are made up of only one cell that carries out all the functions needed by that organism. So it's not just, oh, I'm a cell and I'm here floating around. This cell is the powerhouse. It does everything. It controls its food intake. It controls everything that this cell needs. It does not have to have any other cells. That's one of the biggest differences when you talk about a unicellular organism. We're not just saying, oh, it's a single cell. No, it's a single cell organism, which means that this single cell can do everything. So that would be some types of bacteria, your protist, and even your yeast, like what would be in bread. All right, multicellular organisms. All right, so this would be a group of cells. This group can create tissue, and that tissue can create organs, or the entire organism together. So this would be your animals, plants, fungus. They're multicellular, that often there's a specialized for different cells of various functions. So within our body, we have all these different types of cells, and they all have to function, and they all have a specific purpose in order to create us as a living being. So I hope this kind of helps out. We'll discuss more about this, and I'll see you on the flip side.